Bitcoin situation is heating up. We are currently in a position where we've continued to lose support after basically topping out at $25,000 right now, giving us a very real double top possibility at the moment. You know, double tops are quite serious in markets like this. They can definitely signify that we're going to be dropping even lower, and so it's definitely worth paying attention to signs like this. And if you take a look at how this is starting to shape up right now, it definitely looks like the price could be dropping down even lower, and that's what I want to discuss with you in this video, because a lot of people are now starting to feel that their sentiment is turning a little bit. There's a lot of really bearish sentiment around the space right now, guys. That's kind of one of the big things I've picked up on. It's actually not being reflected by the fear and greed index on this particular occasion. Usually I would see that this kind of lines up with just what I'm reading online and stuff like that. But guys, right now things are looking pretty bleak, and we're at an interesting position right now. There's some really cool developments that Bitcoin could actually take advantage of on a pullback like this. Look at this. I really like this line right here. I think that this line definitely has some potential to turn into something important for Bitcoin, but we're also on the brink of losing it. And at the very same time, let's just break down why we even saw this dump in the first place. Obviously, we know that the news doesn't matter. That's what you get on this YouTube channel. It's just very grounded TA technical analysis. We're not really looking at the news. It doesn't actually matter. But it's important to look at it from time to time just to kind of understand what's going on. And put simply, guys, Silvergate, it's a bank. Some exchanges like Coinbase use it, and they told the SEC that they won't be able to file their annual report on time. They're evaluating their ability to stay in business, and people are scared because this is the same bank that big players like Coinbase are using. So maybe funds are not safe. Basically, that's basically the whole thing. This chart right here shows that their share price absolutely basically just halved, really, from around $13 down to $5. I mean, more than 50% loss there. Pretty much happening, most of that within a day. And so that was pretty nasty. They're definitely not looking too good, and of course that's having some contagion effect on crypto. So okay, that's the bullshit reason. We got that out of the way. Obviously that doesn't matter, never did matter, never will matter, but fuck it, we covered it anyway. I don't know, it's nice to know, I guess, but it's really not important at all, because the result that we're in right now is that Bitcoin saw quite a steep dump. Bitcoin managed to dump down by about 5% in just 1 hour with this candle right here, which was quite a big deal. And if you look at where this arrow points to, we've also managed to fall out of our 4-hour Ichimoku cloud. So what this means is that Bitcoin is losing support now. We had levels that were previously providing some support to Bitcoin. We had this sideways range right here. This was a really important one. We had this sideways range up here, and what we're seeing is that we are consistently finding resistance at resistance levels and falling below our support levels. Okay, so we've done that most recently right here as well, which just reconfirms that what we already know, which is that we're in a very short-term downtrend, perhaps, right? Maybe this is going to turn into a longer one. And when we lose big areas of, I don't know if I'd call this big, but when we lose important areas of support like a 4-hour Ichimoku cloud, which to me is obviously very important, then it does start to sour the picture a little bit. The thing is, and you're going to hear me talk about this a little bit more as we go on in this video, is I've been looking at our best fucking friend, the daily Ichimoku cloud, for quite a while, and I've been talking about this for a while with you guys, saying that it's gonna take a while, but this could end up being very useful for us, especially if the price starts to drop down a little bit. And man, I just think it's really poetic, where this is lining up right now. It's actually the reason that I'm not worried. I think that there are huge opportunities brewing in this market right now that are just going to be absolutely insane to be able to take advantage of. And the biggest one that I'm seeing right now is a potential further drop. The thing about Bitcoin's chart is, because we went up so much, we can pull back quite aggressively and still be in a pretty good spot. And I think that that's not something a lot of people are actually, kind of aware of. A lot of people think that if we, drop hard, then, that's the end of it. And we're absolutely just going down the shitter, and we better pack up our shit and leave. But no, when we have such strong rallies up like this, it makes a lot of sense if we get, relatively strong pullbacks as well. So to see that now we're getting something like that, really isn't too scary for me. I want to show you something. Here's something that you're gonna find a little bit scary, you know, and then I'm gonna show you why I'm not worried about it. And before I get to that, guys, I really want to highlight to you the amazing opportunities available if you check out the links to the exchanges that I'm working with down in the description below. Bybit, if you head on over to the rewards hub after signing up using my link, is going to be giving you up to $30,000 in deposit bonuses, just straight cash added into your account you can trade with. Take advantage of it in markets like this, where you can basically get free trading capital, risk it, and if you make money with it, you can keep it. But if you don't make money with it, you don't lose anything because it was free money in the first place. OKX offering you something similar right here. This has actually ended. My bad. We're just gonna have to go to Bybit. My bad. I'm still clocked into February. You've only got Bybit's offer, but that is 30k. I'm gonna see if we can get this one restarted with OKX right here. But Bybit's offer very much available to you. Go ahead and check that out. But take a look at this chart that I want to show you right here. Now this is every time Bitcoin on the 4-hour time frame has lost support since August of last year on the 4-hour Ichimoku cloud, and you can see that we dumped right through our Ichimoku cloud right here in August of last year, and it resulted from our absolute top to our absolute bottom in a minus 26% crash. Now the next time that we did that in November, this was the FTX crash. From our absolute high where we lost the Ichimoku cloud down to our absolute low, we fell down by 28%. Now the reason that this is interesting is that if we're going to do something like this again now, from our absolute high, failing the Ichimoku cloud, dropping down by about 27-28% again, which is very much in line with the other two drops that we saw, this would put us at a speculative target of $18,100. Obviously very, very low, but if you've been paying attention to me on this YouTube channel for a while, you're going to know that this isn't actually a concerning level for me. You know, like obviously it's going to be not so nice to see Bitcoin below $20,000 again, but this level is something that I've had defined for a long time. Not quite 18,100. My support level only stretches down to 18,400, but it's really not that much difference. And crucially, Bitcoin doesn't have to drop that low. The point is that if we do end up seeing a substantial 20-25% correction, right, which is, you know, basically Bitcoin losing a quarter or a fifth of its entire value, you know, that's a lot to shake people out. And the reason that I really like this idea, the reason that I'm actually quite okay with it, and I'm not saying we're going to drop, I'm going to talk about why we might go up as well in a little bit, but the reason that I'm actually quite comfortable sitting with this idea and, you know what, kind of almost hoping that it happens, is that people are really fucking scared right now. And again, to me, it doesn't make sense to be scared when we're in, you know, what is basically from our high down to our current price, just an 11% pullback. It's only happened in 12 days. It's like somehow, you know, over the last few months, everyone's just turned into just being, I mean, just everyone's a massive bitch, basically. There's no other way to put it. People are just very fucking scared over nothing. And that's what I'm reading here. You know, because again, overall, we want, you know, if we want to put this in perspective, from our lows to our highs, to be able to rise up by 62%, right, in 90 days, that is a really healthy rally. You know, for Bitcoin standards, that is really healthy. From here up to our high, where it really started to kick off, it was still 52 days for us to rise up by 53%. I mean, this is a pretty good rally, right? It's a pretty good rally. And now to see that we're having a couple of corrections and people are losing their shit, like, to me, this isn't even a bad chart. Like, this is actually a really healthy chart. I like what I'm seeing. The good news about this chart is that Bitcoin has support all over the place, right? If we drop down now, the next support that we have is going to be at about 21,500. This was the pre-FTX high. I really don't want to see Bitcoin losing this, right? And I've covered this with you before. The reason I don't want to see Bitcoin losing this area of support right here is because we actually would be setting lower lows if we fall below this low right here. So I really want to see that Bitcoin can hold this level, but even if it doesn't, we'd still be potentially looking at just one nice long pullback that kind of trades down a little bit like this into a really strong support level, or at least what I would consider to be a really strong support level, and then we send it higher. I really think that something like that is possible, and it's because people are just getting obnoxiously worried right now. You know, like, people are unnecessarily negative. Bears are fucking cocky. Bears are really cocky. Go back and listen, go back and read some of the comments on my YouTube video, like the last one, you know, and stuff like that. Dude, bears are, it's really getting into their head right now. And if you look at the videos that I made down in these ranges as well, when I was still talking about a $25,000, $30,000, $40,000 Bitcoin, where I was talking about it all throughout this time period right here, go back and look at the comments of those videos. Bears were really fucking cocky, right? When bears get cocky, things get bad. When bulls get cocky, things get bad, right? It's not like you know, it's not specific to one camp. You know, when you've got one group of traders where, you know, they just feel like they're too fucking smart, you know, and that it's okay to just start laughing at people that are, you know, trading the opposite positions. Yeah, I mean, you know, look, they might have a little bit of sunshine, but usually that kind of stuff doesn't last long, you know, and I think that that's something that is definitely worth paying attention to at this point in the market. You know, good support where we are, honestly. I mean, it's okay. I'm not too worried about it. Like I said, I like this line that Bitcoin has as well. It would be really nice if Bitcoin can hold it, because this line is actually more of a parallel channel, you know, in my view, and these are obviously really important for Bitcoin. You know, these can definitely be nice, you know, breakout patterns where we kind of move up aggressively, trade inside of a slower range, and then break up, and then we can form the same thing on wider time frames and then break up, and the same thing on smaller time frames. Look, there's one drawn all the way down here. Look at it, it's so cute. This little one right here, you know, you've got the same thing happening to Bitcoin on multiple different time frames. So there's a really nice setup cooking on this chart right now. There's a lot to be taken advantage of. And guys, again, I want to highlight to you that having the ability to just throw 30,000 fucking dollars into the market and not even worry about what happens to it is a superpower. And you might not be able to get as much as 30K, but Bybit has got offers running all the way up, starting with $3 to 30,000. There's going to be something there for you. Definitely check it out to get access to this free trading capital, and just put it behind whatever ideas you want to experiment with, or whatever you like. It really doesn't matter. It is a super cool offer. I know for me, the key things that I'd be looking at doing are probably building some low leverage longs, or you know, just kind of longing off support areas like this, things that to me seem, you know, fairly dependable, fairly reliable moves. Like I said, we definitely don't need to drop as hard as this right here. And the other chart that I wanted to show you was right here. One second. And this was all about how, again, you know, we could be having some really nice areas of support developing in this, you know, kind of region. Stands about, you know, 21,500, 21,700, you know, again, that FTX high. Definitely a nice place for the market to find itself. Certainly not something that I'd be worried about if we, you know, don't find support down there, because there is still really good support elsewhere. But, you know, what we do start to have is a bit of confluence here, where we're lining up with previous areas of support that we know already are important. And that to me it just gives me a little bit of extra confidence, you know, and I really like that. I really appreciate that at times like this, because obviously we want to know that we have good footing. And when we start to see that actually, you know, we've got you know, almost a diagonal line lining up with a pre-existing horizontal level, lining up with an Ichimoku cloud, you know, Bitcoin's in a good place, you know, with that stuff in mind. So, you know, that's what I really like. You know, I don't actually think we're bearish. You know, I'm really not feeling that. You know, like I said, we could drop down to 18K and I wouldn't really care too much, because we'd still be in really good support. You know, really all we would be doing is pulling back off a really strong rally. You know, to me, that would definitely indicate we could be ready to go around for, you know, round two. You know what I mean? I definitely think that that's possible. I actually want to throw on a fib again on this chart. They haven't been amazingly useful, but there have still been some stuff we could read from it. Yeah, so we're not even down to the 3.3 Fibonacci, you know, we just wicked down to the 3.3 Fibonacci. We could drop as low as 21.5 and it's still, you know, and then only at that point would we hit a critical area of support, like a really important one. So, and we haven't even gotten down there yet. And the 61866 lines also lining up at about $19,000. So look, plenty of support, guys. plenty of support if we end up dropping down. You know, it's a little bit too early to be getting worried, in my opinion. You know, we've had a really nice strong rally. We need to have you know, a little bit of calmness to, you know, to follow from that. I don't like the fact that we don't have Ichi support down there. That is a little bit concerning. I don't want to see us dropping below the Ichimoku cloud, to be honest. You know, but it is nice. And you know what I really like is, as I've been saying this for a while, is, you know, that Ichimoku cloud is going to be useful later on. I was telling you guys about it when it was developing in like January, February. You know, and it was really far away. It was completely irrelevant, but I kept telling you guys, keep an eye on it, keep an eye on it. And right now it is just so close. You know, so ready, to be honest, to provide some support to Bitcoin. And I really like that it starts all the way down at you know, 19.9, stretches all the way up to 21.3. I mean, this is a big cloud, guys, from 20.4 up here up to 22. This is really, really nice, right? I mean, if we could stall out a little bit, maybe a little bit of a bounce, and then drop into this cloud, you know, towards the end of March, that would be some really nice price action. It would paint a nice head and shoulders pattern, scare the bulls, retest the neckline, but blast through it, and then bam, we've basically just got a deviation, right? This support line, this red support line here would continue on up. We would have deviated below it into a beautiful area of support, and bam, it's I mean, you know, it's summer. it's summer at that point. So there you go. You know, definitely something that I think is possible. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but I'm really not that negative on the market right now. If we take a look at a slightly different chart, let's go ahead and see you know, what we're looking at for the very short-term analysis. To be honest, there's nothing really I can read into this. I don't actually like this kind of price action. This is pretty dangerous to trade. I was going to trade a long position up here, but I waited. You know, I needed a little bit more confirmation, and I shared all the details of that inside of VIP and 𝐹𝐺 Gold, which you can join by just clicking on that link in the description. That's going to take you to my free 𝐹𝐺 Gold Telegram channel, where I keep you up to date on the kind of trades and analysis you know, that I'm looking at in the market. You know, and that is you know, 𝐹𝐺 Gold is completely free. You know, and I was talking about how I'm interested in a long position up here, but you know, I need a little bit more confirmation. A lot of people would have been taking long positions on the way down, and we know this. The data backs this up. I mean, people have been majority long for quite some time now, and by I mean, this is a lot. We've got more than 2 longs for every short on Binance right there for retail traders. You know, this is definitely quite a big deal. So a lot of people have been getting completely wrecked on these kind of moves, but you know, obviously that's where I'm trying to step in and be like, hey, you know, I mean, the number one priority here, guys, let's not forget, is capital preservation, right? If you have any, you know, somewhat significant sum of money, your primary objective must be to protect it. You know, you can't grow it if you can't protect it. It's almost like adding, you know, more water into a barrel that has a hole at the bottom. It's, you know, you're completely wasting your time until you plug that hole, and that's what we're aiming to do in these markets. It's basically what I feel like I have been doing for years. And if you want to jump inside, see how we've been doing that, steps are on screen for you right here. Once again, take advantage of all of this free firepower you've got available to you with this huge offer. OKX's offer did end. Like I said, I'll see if I can start that back up for you, but Bybit, this is going to be the one for you to focus on today, and you have up to 30k to grab in deposit bonuses as well, which is very fucking cool. I really hope you have enjoyed this one. You know what to do. If you have, hit up the likes, subscribe, tick the bell, do all that good stuff, and I'll see you all in the next one. Cheers.